Alright, making another video. Really shouldn't be doing that, but I'm doing it. Yeah, I'll even move the camera forward. I have been missing my head area in recent videos, which is probably okay. And I've been kind of bouncy. Sorry about that. I should walk slower, but you know, you have your native pace, and that's the way it works out. So anyway, I'm having one of my quite regular not doing too well attacks. Anxiety, I don't feel very good. I do this a lot. And it's always a little different, so you always think, you know, oh, something's wrong. You know, I got cancer. You know, you always think something because, you know, your brain just does that naturally because it's always a little bit different. You always feel wrong in some newly subtle way that you know, you're having some little pain or something. Like I usually don't have pain, but I have a little pain in my guts. It's like ugh. And so that gives me cause to, you know, think about all the possibilities. And yeah, it just doesn't take long for you to just say, oh shit, how did I get into this mess? At least it doesn't take long for me to do that. You know, why am I still here? Why am I subjecting myself to this vulnerability? And yeah, I don't have a good answer. Yeah, it's too much trouble to get out. That is the answer, pretty much. So anyway, yeah, just some other shit going on here and there. I just, you know, whatever, bad day. It was okay day, and then just turned into a bad day. Just slid slowly but surely right into a bad day. Or a bad few hours. Alright, so where do I want to go with that? You know, I guess this is sort of the empathy thing, the, you know, why it becomes your focus is because, yeah, you have enough of it. You'll say, yeah, this is enough of it. We really don't need to keep doing this because this is not comfortable. This is not good. And you just multiply it, you know, times all the other people that have to go through these kinds of things and much worse. And you're just, you know, I don't even want to contemplate the much worse part. So it's like, how do those people rationalize it? How do they find any... Yeah, it's like it's coming from a perspective of somebody who, like everybody else, is pretty addictive. I mean, I'm pretty not give up-y. I'm pretty competitive. I'm, you know, I just don't get how they can draw a different conclusion and say, yes, it was all worthwhile. I'm sorry. I just can't do that math. So there's some other element in there, I guess. Some hope or fantasy or a wish or I don't know what it is, but there's something else running in their brains. Maybe some sort of attachment, I guess is always the word. Some sort of past glory, some past reputation that life has, like some sort of celebrity who you find out is a debaucherous asshole, but you still like them, you know, because of the old days. Because of who they were or who you know, you can't tarnish them too much. It's like Thomas Jefferson. You find out some shit and you're like, oh fuck, but you're just kind of like, oh well. Yeah, so he made a few bad lifestyle choices, or you know, Martin Luther King or some other guy. You just kind of write it off because you got to give it the benefit of the doubt, kind of thing, and you really don't want to destroy your positive image. And so maybe it's because people have a highly positive image in their head of life, that they really will cut it huge amounts of slack, because they really did buy into this idea that you know, it's a great thing. It's a super duper thing. It's super celebrity. It's superhero. It's, you know, the most fantastic thing ever. And so that's their default state of mind, and so it makes it they can just keep writing it off. Where I come at it from a perspective where I never really had that. I never had a glowing impression of life itself. I kind of had some appreciation for nature itself, just the rawness of it. But that was more on a personal level, like a Tarzan level or something. It wasn't really on a philosophical level. It was just on a day-to-day, where do I feel more comfortable kind of level. So that's a little different, I think, than when you're. It's more different. It's different than the idol thing. I didn't really associate it as all of nature. I just associated it with like the nature I was interacting with, the trees, the things without the context of nature. I guess I would argue the critters themselves, not what they represent. So it's like I could like a crocodile because I'd separate it from crocodiling, in general. It wasn't really a crocodile, it was Fred. Yeah, I actually called my first crocodile Fred, I believe. Fred, it's kind of funny. Yeah, pet crocodile. Died tragically, as most pets do. Damn it. Anyway, I won't even go into that. Broke my little heart, it did. But anyway, yeah, so I guess that's part of it, is that people have this default that's kind of programmed in their heads that, life is just so magnificent, super, fantastic. Oh, wow, it's just so spectacular. Oh, nature is so cool. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And, yeah, I just didn't have any of that. I always knew that it was kind of dirty. That it was kind of a whore and a slut, Mother Nature. It is kind of, it's just these little things that do highlight your memory trail and your psychological maturation. And I do remember that as a kid growing up. They used to have these stupid margarine commercials for, I don't know, Imperial or something. I can't remember which one it was. But they had this woman, and she would go at the end, because they had a fake margarine or something, or fake butter and margarine. Margarine was fake butter, something like that. And, she would end, her little phrase at the end was, "It's not nice to fool Mother Nature." And, I used to just think of this idea of Mother Nature, and I'd just say, yeah, she's just she's that monster woman with the snakes in her hair. Right then I'd already thought about the fact that, as a kid, that people have this impression of nature, that's this beautiful, friendly, wonderful thing, and it's a succubus. Mother Nature is a succubus. She will drain your blood. She will doom you. She will condemn you. She is nasty, nasty, nasty bitch. And so yeah, that's my contextualization. That's the world I have to take what happens now. I have to take today, or the last decade, or the last 2 decades, and I have to put them in. They have been contextualized for me by that reflection, or on that screen, that written screen. And I guess that's what I'm sort of saying here, I guess, is that we do have to think through. Our thoughts have to navigate through. They have to weave their way through the crap in our heads, the context, the lumpy screen. And I guess the idea is to have some kind of default perception that isn't too unbalanced, that doesn't have too many gremlins or Frankensteins or devils or heroes or gods or all the bullshit that we get in our heads. It has to be somehow kind of even and flat, or else it will distort everything that we throw in there now. Everything new that goes in is going to get fucked up. because of the lumps and bumps and bullshit that we have behind the screen or under the sheets, or however you want to look at it. You know, the things we have a boner for have deflected the material in ways that creates illusions and delusions, that creates distortions in how we perceive what is happening, how we perceive the threat that lies down this path, or the benefit that might lie down it, how we navigate. And then on top of that context is this little selfish context of one individual trying to figure out some way to get comfortable, and how that has another influence on, you know, resolution. And I clearly haven't used my philosophy. You know, I haven't clung to a God or to a simple, oh, it's all going to be okay, God says so. I mean, I didn't gravitate to a philosophical answer that would make it seem like it was worthwhile, like some kind of delusion that the prize of eternal life will be worth it, or some other kind of crap. So, I mean, I don't think I've cheated that way, but I've clearly probably lived a life of more irritation and discomfort than the average person. And that's, you know, definitely probably made me, you know, more conscious of the threat. It's like I've been, the lion has chewed my ass a few times, and I've got the scars, and they've made me wary of the water hole, or however you want to describe it. And so, with the rest of humanity, or the rest of you people, can kind of, ha ha ha, what are you complaining about? Life is fun, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm tempered, because I know there's a trap that swings and it crushes your neck, or I know there's a little plastic thing with a bunch of holes in it. It's going to come flying down on you and swat your ass. I know there's a piano with your name on it, you know, hanging from a window somewhere. And that's the part, you know, that makes me very apprehensive about any kind of, you know, aggressive movement in the forward direction. Because is it forward into a tiger trap, into a pit of doom, horror, and a pit you may not be able to escape. That's the other element to this. Is, you know it's dark. You know there's these trap doors. You know there's all this bullshit. And you're almost saying, well, maybe I should just find the quickest way to off myself, just so I don't get trapped in one of those scenarios. I don't get trapped in a Freddy's nightmare kind of circumstance where death is no longer an option and all there is torment and suffering. I mean, yeah, it's a liability here too. Yeah, with every step, you could be stepping into a bear trap, and the only way out is to gnaw your leg off. There ain't gonna be a gun. There's not gonna be a noose. You know, you're fucked. Anyway, kind of dark. Yeah, it's a pretty dark video. But yeah, unfortunately, my brain is doing that, and I'm obviously fighting it. I love these giant wheats. I don't love them. I mean, I never even contemplated having any sort of romantic interlude with them, but they are very tall. Anyway, which is just kind of neat. Those big things are always kind of neat. You know, if you had found a fly that was, 40-pound fly, you'd be like, holy shit, it's a 40-pound fly. It'd be pretty neat. I mean, that would wear off pretty quick, especially if it was a biting fly, but whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. I would try to relax my brain and get myself back to my normal state of just mild tension, instead of kind of aggressive tension. Reduce the anxiety level from a red down to something more pleasant, something more orangey or browny. Maybe I don't think I can get to a blue, but yeah, I can at least get to maybe brown. No place to live in brown either, though. Oh, people making noise. Horrible, horrible. So, oh, yeah, I just, spooky, spooky. Little demons running through my head, stomping on my nuts. I don't know how they get there from my head, but they do. Anyway, I think I've satisfied the video quota. Oh, noisy, noisy, noisy. I hate noisy people. I don't hate them, I just dislike them. Yeah, that's it. I dislike noisy people. Alright, till next time. Horsefly everywhere. Damn people are attracting them, no doubt.